Okay, today is July the 10th, 2019. Right now at 9:20 a.m. we have a temperature of 72 degrees here in the foothills. The relative humidity is 52%. We have a dew point of 53 degrees. And the barometric pressure is 29.95 inches. All right, so today we have clear skies, whereas yesterday we had very heavy chemtrail aerosol spraying over Southern California. That was because of a not exactly a low pressure system, but if we just wind through this map, this is the upper level water vapor imagery for the continental U.S. We can see right over here, we had water streaming in. We can see some condensation right there. This is streaming right through California. And of course, that was all sprayed over to prevent any cloud cover, natural cloud cover, and possible precipitation. Now, right here is a disturbance with a fairly good chance of becoming a hurricane. Let's go ahead and look at the National Hurricane Center map right now. We can see this is identified as number 2, tropical cyclone, potential cyclone number 2, with 30-mile-per-hour winds, a pressure of 1,000 millibar, 1,011 millibar, moving west-southwest at 8 miles per hour. Now, for the last several days, this thing was hovering over the East Coast area, and it drifted down, and now we're over the Gulf of Mexico, so we'll have to keep an eye on this thing. But if we go back to the upper level water vapor loop here, we can see what happens. This map doesn't work too well, but we'll just try to get it set up so we can watch it a little bit here. Get all the frames loaded up. We can see that it's also being targeted moderately. It's not being completely destroyed, but we can see that it moves into the Gulf of Mexico from the north. And we can see the pressure waves right here as that system moves down into the Gulf of Mexico, which has very warm water right now. I believe it's around 85 degrees. Out over California, once again, we had the heavy spraying yesterday. Today we have clear skies, and we'll take a look at the maps now. Yesterday, all day, the northwest had quite a bit of rain from that weather system we showed in the last video, which moved in. We can see that frontal system moving in, and that brought some rain. Now, I've got a couple of screenshots, which I'll have to show in the next video, but the next radar, microwave Doppler radar, was affecting the precipitation in Portland. We can see the pie-shaped cutouts. I'll try to get that shot in the next video. I don't have that handy right now, but I did take some screenshots. So we can see that moving through. That brought some rain to the Washington and Oregon area. We'll keep an eye on this system right here. We also have what looks to be some thunderstorm activity over mainland Mexico there. Keep an eye on that. None of this monsoonal moisture is moving anywhere near Arizona and California, by the way. It's interesting, the last few weeks, there's just been nothing. You can see the how this system is targeted here. You see that pressure wave blast pattern. This mouse pulled out so we can. Okay. See the pressure waves there. All right, so that's the update pretty much for the East Coast. You can see a weather system here. This is a very large low pressure system moving through Wisconsin and Minnesota. High pressure right here installed between the two, this water vapor and this low pressure, separating the two. All right, so we've got some thunderstorm activity right here over Kansas. It looks like Nebraska and Kansas. All right, let's take a look at the West Coast now. We have the Northeast Pacific water vapor loop. And we can see we've got moisture streaming right into the northwest. Got high pressure installed right down in the East Pacific. Also in this area, southwest, which is preventing all this monsoonal moisture from getting anywhere near California and Arizona. See the outline right here from that transmitter activity. And that is part of what is preventing that little counterclockwise spinning low from generating any precipitation down here in this area. Now the jet stream map is interesting. Let's look at the polar jet stream. Somebody made a comment about the condition of the polar jet stream. If we look at the polar map, we can see that just bits and pieces. There's really no continuity throughout the jet stream here in the northern hemisphere view. That's interesting. I don't look at this map too often, but the last time I looked at it here a couple of months ago, there was much more continuity. We had, looks like a snake. It just sort of weaves its way through around the northern hemisphere. But look at it here today. It's just a mess. There's nothing there, and that's because of all the weather manipulation activity. As we look here at the East Pacific jet stream map, we see the same bits and pieces. There's no real continuity here. We have that low pressure that moved through yesterday and today right over the northwest. All right, so back to the National Hurricane Center map. If we look at the East Pacific, we have a disturbance listed right there in the right off of Mexico, which has a 0% chance of hurricane formation in 2 days. This is a slow developing weather system. We'll keep an eye on that. Looking here at the rainbow map, we see all that moisture moving into the northwest. And of course, this area of moisture is all being dissipated. This is usually a monsoonal flow at this time of the year, moving right into the southwestern U.S. That's not happening. Here's the western U.S. water vapor loop. See that moisture, just the very tail end of that moisture moving right through Southern California. And that's why we had all that spraying yesterday. Those jets were preventing any chances of precipitation. Should have had a little bit of cooler, drizzly weather because of that moisture field moving right on through. Looking at the Doppler map, we can see that what's happening over Louisiana. This is that developing system, potential hurricane. Over the state of Washington, we see some residual shower activity there. Okay, now looking at the MODIS today map, once again, more often than not, we see that the Southern California area, the area which I do most of my reporting, is blocked out. So I just wanted to show this. Many days in a row, we've seen this area blocked out. We can't see what's been going on. This is yesterday's map, by the way. I wanted to show the aerosol spraying, which shows up very well on the map. You can see up, we just click on this one area. This is the northwest U.S. We'll go ahead and load that up. And we can see that we can easily determine the natural clouds right down here versus the gray, the light gray chemtrail aerosol haze, which is this stuff here. This light gray haze is the chemtrail aerosols, which are being sprayed over the natural water vapor moving in. You see the natural brilliant white is the natural clouds. And the upper level white haze is the stuff that's being sprayed by those specially equipped jets. We bump this up one magnification. Here we can see that see all those streaks. right here, this light gray haze looking over Washington State and Oregon right down here. You see the natural clouds moving in, this brilliant white. And this light gray haze, once again, is the chemtrail aerosol haze, which caps the atmosphere, prevents the lift. See the streaks? Okay. All right, so that's the report. It's just a short report. We'll keep an eye on that disturbance down in the Gulf of Mexico. And we'll just leave it right here. Okay, that's it.